Next eminent guest, Mr. Farrukh Amin, Chief Executive Officer, Unity Foods Ltd. If we could have you on stage, Farrukh. A nice, healthy applause. We've just had tea and snacks. Welcoming Mr. Farrukh to our summit. Mr. Farrukh Amin, founder and CEO of Unity Foods, is committed to agri-strength of Pakistan. For him, enrichment of grain and wholesomeness of food is the key to healthy business strategies. With a vast experience in FMCG, national and international both, processing and trading of food products and agro-commodities, animal feeds, mergers and acquisitions, etc., Farrukh is all set to change the game in the industry by realigning his products line with the digitized 21st century vision. A Taqatwar Pakistan through nutrition and accessibility to quality staples and food products is the inherent mission statement of his organization. Over to you.
Thank you. Distinguished guests and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It's an honor to have been invited by Nutshell, and I would like to thank Mr. Asfar for organizing such an enlightening event. It's a very pleasure to be here today to talk to a topic which is very close to my heart, that is food security in Pakistan and prepare for its disruption. At Unity Foods, our vision is to, now it's better, yeah. At Unity Foods, our vision is to be a reliable and sustainable supplier to the nation's food security system by developing and implementing an efficient farm-to-fork supply chain across Pakistan. Our mission is to improve and enhance food security, and later I'll explain how at Unity we are trying to improve and assist farmers. As they say, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. It can be applied to addressing food insecurity in Pakistan by leveraging digitalization to prepare for potential disruptions. Pakistan is the 5th most populous country in the world with a population of above 200 million. It is ranked 8th globally in terms of food insecurity, with approximately 40% of the population is food insecure. This means around 80 million people in Pakistan do not have access to food, and if they do, it's not adequate in quantity or quality. High inflation, rising unemployment, higher population growth rate, lower crop yields, and then the climate change disasters such as recent floods have further aggravated the situation and make Pakistan more food insecure. To ensure food security for its citizens, Pakistan must be prepared for any potential disruptions that may arise in the supply chain of its food. As the population continues to grow, employment opportunities remain limited due to the underperformance of our industries. This has contributed to a rise in food insecurity as we are increasingly relying on food imports to meet our basic needs, whereas previously we used to be self-sufficient. A few years back, Pakistan used to be exporter of wheat and cotton. Nowadays, we are using our precious foreign reserves to bring in wheat and to bring in cotton. We bring in cotton to meet the local demands of the domestic textile industry, and we bring in now wheat to feed the nation. If we continue to operate in the same way, Pakistan will be spending most of our foreign exchange reserves to pay for the agro-commodities that are necessary to feed the nation, which should be utilized more to bring in capital goods rather than food commodities. Pakistan ranks as the world's 5th largest wheat producing country. Despite being the 5th largest wheat producing country, with Pakistan having a population of 200 million, Pakistan is the world's largest consumer of wheat. Our per capita consumption of wheat and flour is 124 kilos per annum, which is very large. This means that we need to ensure a robust and sustainable supply chain system for wheat production, which is very critical for Pakistan's food security, and the livelihoods of millions of farmers are relying on wheat cultivation. Despite that we are being the largest producer of wheat, our per hectare yield of wheat crop is only 2.9 metric tons, which is far much lower than the global average of 4 metric tons per hectare. This means there's a large room for increase in the crop yield. If we increase the crop yield by 20%, which is very achievable, this means that we can increase the production of wheat by 5.5 million tons. The crop now is 26 million tons. If we increase by 20%, we can reduce the pressure on our foreign reserves by substituting the import of wheat with the local crop, and we can build the depleted reserves, safety stocks, and we can also export the surplus of wheat to bring in more foreign reserves. Similar is the situation with the edible oil seeds. At the moment, Pakistan imports around 3 million tons of canola and soya beans, in which we burn around $2 billion of our foreign reserves to just bring in oil seed crops. And then we import 3 million tons of palm oil, where we burn around $3 billion of our foreign reserves. This means the total burning is around $5 billion to feed the nation with edible oil. Pakistan's rapeseed crop local at the moment is 500,000 tons, whereas if we compare with India, the crop is approx 9 million tons. We are far below what Canada, Australia, Ukraine are producing. Our per hectare yield of rapeseed is 1.2 metric tons per hectare, which is far below the global average of 2 metric tons per hectare. If we increase the crop size of rapeseeds, definitely we can reduce the pressure on our foreign reserves, and we can export some of the excess meals to Far Eastern countries, and we can also develop our livestock industry and develop the poultry industry. What needs to be done? Can only equipping the farmers alone will help? I strongly believe that the private sector should invest in digital transformation and give farmers and producers tools and motivation to grow. I believe to achieve food security and be a sustainable supplier to the nation's food security system, like what we are doing at Unity, we should be investing a lot in digitalizing the agricultural sector. We at Unity are the buyers and consumers of food raw materials such as wheat and rice for our flour and rice mills. We have set up tools to enable farmers to get the best price for their crops and have the motivation to grow more. We at Unity Foods have invested substantially in digital transformation, and we are devising tools to connect farmers to our procurement centers by way of digital apps, where we shall be enabling farmers to sell their crops, rice and wheat, basis spot and future prices, and basis future and spot deliveries. We are also trying to reduce and eliminate the role of aarti and middlemen by way of digital transformation. The farmers by way of phones will be updated on the current and actual market prices, and will have the tool to sell their product, crop, rice, wheat, and receive money by way of digital banking in their defined bank accounts. This can only be achieved by way of digital transformation. I believe that digital technology can optimize the key supply chain, increase yields and crop sizes, streamline business processes, promote traceability, and provide access to finance to farmers. In Pakistan, digital adoption in the agri-sector is very limited due to the infrastructure, knowledge, affordability, and limited access to smartphones. Enhancing access to digital technology for farmers can definitely revolutionize Pakistan's economy. I believe that digital tools can facilitate the distribution of information regarding modern agricultural practices, weather alerts, crop advisories, pest diagnosis, and market prices enabling small-scale farmers to have access to online marketplaces like what we are developing at Unity to sell their crops and produce and get the right price and connect them with the large-scale agricultural suppliers of fertilizers and seeds. In the end, I would say that we large corporations in the agricultural sector should feel responsible and invest in the digitalization and digital transformation of the agricultural sector. This is the way we can only enhance food security in Pakistan. Thank you.